Hopefully so, but here we go. Game 1 of this series. Disconnected in blue. YouMyZero in orange. YouMyZero, a significant threat in the European scene, but they've been dealing mostly with just being unable to actually play. That has been their biggest holdup. When they do play, though, they are typically on point. So let's see how this squad goes. They're running at full strength. Linkuru, Enduru, and Deton for YouMyZero. And the Hwanjit Raider, All-Star, number 4, and Hootie for Disconnected.
So we're playing ping pong at the moment, but I definitely expect to see some really quick changes here and a lot of upbeat attacks. What a great save by Andrew right there.
Yeah, looking very good for both teams so far. Just trying to feel each other out right now, the early stages of the game. You know, want to get an idea of how they want to approach the game, what the best strategy is going to be, and you see this a lot. You even see it at the upper level. The only times you probably don't see the play like this is maybe if you're getting a very familiar matchup like Team Rocket versus Shazoo or Flipside versus Swarm. You know, that kind of, those teams have played each other so much, they know what to expect. They know what they're going to do. And there's Deaton. That was actually a great play off the wall there. Not much of a touch, but I think it was just enough to get it to the far corner of the net there. You can see just a little bit of contact, but puts it away about as far to the right as you can.
Oh yeah, that was just enough touch to really mess up the defense that Disconnected have. And really, that's all you need. Is sometimes you don't need that power shot. In that sense, he just needed to get that nice little touch, and it had the speed already on it.
Oh, speaking of which, oh, and that shot just goes a little high. What a great opportunity, though. I mean, that shot was perfectly set up. They had a good chance on it. And I'm not sure where the defense is right now for Disconnected. They're kind of just sort of letting that ball hang out. Gave YouMyZero another bit of time to regroup and approach it again. That was unusual.
Yeah, now I feel bad because Linkuru had a shot, but he accidentally got chipped by Deaton as he went to fly, so that's why he was completely off on that hit.
Oh, here's a nice little setup. Oh, but Deaton comes in a little too fast. Linkuru was trying to set him up a bit, volleyball style. Couldn't quite get it done. But yeah, right now, I mean, YouMyZero looking kind of playing a lot like the better team right now. And that might just be those early game jitters or something, but they are looking to be the better squad at the moment.
They are, but you can definitely see the rustiness of them not being in a big tournament lately because they are missing a lot of easy clears and hits at the moment that could set them up. They're having to go back and do it once or twice.
Yeah, it's for sure, and I think a lot of that is, like you said, just that rustiness, that kind of wearing, you know, breaking off the tournament rust and just trying to get back into fighting shape. But the good thing is that YouMyZero is the kind of squad that can probably do that during the tournament.
Yeah, so. And as we saw, Deaton hits it to the wall, gets a nice little pass for Andrew, and Hootie had a chance to defend it, but doesn't jump up for it.
Yeah, a little hard. I mean, that was a good setup by Deaton playing it off the wall, perfect center, and Andrew right there to get the punish. Finish that thing up. But now Disconnected, desperately trying to get that first goal. A good offensive chance there for him. Everybody got a touch on that offensive play. So that was good for them. Oh, that was really close.
Yeah, that was a good hit by Andrew, and Linkuru tried to redirect it to score and just hit it wide. I don't know, I have to admit, with YouMyZero, I really feel like there's no troubles from Andrew. I think we're going to see them a lot more. Yeah, they're looking really good here. You know, they're coming together in a lot of good plays. And yeah, it's a little rusty, but, you know, they can afford to be a little rusty right now, I think. It's not like they're playing Swarm right now. They're playing a team that I think they have a little more leeway with. They don't have to necessarily be flawless. But the skill is still there. The raw skill is there. The playmaking is there. You know, knowing where to put the ball. The defense is there. Great rotation, too. I mean, their awareness of where the ball is and where the opponents are putting it is there. They're not letting a lot of chances get by. Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, getting these 3 games where they can try and get their fill back and try and get back into it is going to really help them, as Andrew gets a nice pass to Linkuru. That 1-2 combination they always have seems to always pay off.
Yep, comes off just high. I think Andrew trying to put it on net, but that's just smart positioning on defense there, or really on offense, I should say, just to pick up that that rebound. It looked like Andrew was trying to get in there, went a little too high, bounced off the crossbar. Oh, nearly their first goal there for Disconnected, but Deaton in a good spot to stop it. Here comes YouMyZero again, going long distance.
Yeah, so a good defense is always a good offense. As we see right there, as Linkaroo just kicks that forward, and no one is in position to stop that. Nice little touch from him and Hootie getting that pinch.
Yeah, it looked like Linkaroo was trying to just get the clear, but it did rebound off of a defender's hood, and fortunately for them, goes in. But now 4-0 scoreline, final 30 seconds about to ping up. There you are. And yeah, this is comfortably in the hands of YouMyZero in Game 1. So, you know, I think all that comes down to it now is what Disconnected has to do for Game 2 is they know what to expect now. They know exactly the kind of style that YouMyZero is going to take into this. So they have to bring a little more aggression, try to shut down these offensive chances a little bit better. You know, take advantage of the mistakes. Because there's a few of them that are happening, and you got to take advantage of those. Because if you don't, then YouMyZero can just regroup and come back and then rank up the score like they are right now.
Exactly, and I feel like for Disconnected's side, honestly, the most action I saw from them to where they almost scored was when they upped the tempo. Because that's when a lot of the errors from Andrew and Linkaroo and Deaton came from on YouMyZero's side, is when that tempo went up, they started to miss a few of those hits, and they had to keep coming back to get it. So don't give them any room. Go on and attack.
Yep. Sometimes that's just the style you have to take and the approach you have to take, and that's really what they need to do here. So we are ready for game number 2. About to kick off here. Again, YouMyZero in orange, Disconnected in blue. YouMyZero up 1-0 on this best-of-5 series. 2 more wins, and they will be moving on to the round of 32, I believe, is where we're headed next after this. Oh, and there. All right, so opening goal there by Juan Jitraider gets Disconnected on the board. That's taking advantage of a gap in the defense.
Exactly. I said that that YouMyZero, that they mess up when the tempo gets higher, and as soon as that tempo was put up, someone was caught out of position.
Yeah, so this could be a good bit of momentum for Disconnected to try and take this through into game number 3, and hopefully to finish up game 2 strong. You know, obviously right now they need the win. They need to even this series up, show that they are still in this series. I think if they go down again and the series drops, oh, there's a nice play. Deaton with a great shot, moving the ball upfield. And let's follow this. Deaton gets the shot from midfield here just to set it up. And here comes Anduru just with the redirect. Puts it right in the net. That's hard to beat. I mean, that ball was coming in with a lot of velocity.
Yeah, and I know that was more of a setup to bounce it off the wall to set up, but what a great redirect by Andrew. That was so fast-paced. There was no chance of saving that if he kept it on goal, and he did.
Yep, so... And there, Linkaroo. I mean, this is the kind of YouMyZero that's really hard to contend with.
Yeah, we're starting to see that rust come off, and we're seeing that nice shine that is YouMyZero's skills.
Yep, and that's going to be hard for Disconnected to defend off. You know, when YouMyZero starts clicking on all cylinders, they are, as I mentioned before, really one of Europe's premier teams. And I honestly would keep them in the conversation with the Flipsides and Swarms and Rockets and Shazoos and stuff like that. I'll say right there, that was a bit of fortune for YouMyZero that ball came down and hit the defender's car so that it came down low. Because the position,
that is true.
Yeah, the position Anduru was coming in, if that ball had hit the ground, he would have sailed either right under it or right over it. It was not going to be at the right position to respond to it. But because it hit the car, it was perfect positioning, perfect place to set that goal up.
Yeah, when we think about it, that was just 3 goals in under 35 seconds.
Yep, so, you know, now it depends on how YouMyZero wants to keep going. Are they going to keep playing aggressive? Are they going to ease up a little bit just to play a little more defensively? They know they got the game in a comfortable position. Some teams play a little differently, you know. One team that I know loves to play just constant hard aggression is Cosmic Aftershock. They don't stop. They don't stop. They don't care. They will rank up a double-digit 14 goal to 0 lead if they have to, just because they don't like changing their strategy. And that sometimes is a really smart move.
Yeah, because changing a strategy could actually change how you play and actually affect how your team's going to perform.
Yeah, if you can go into every game, whether it's against a round of 128 team or a semifinal team, and play the same way, the same kind of aggression. There's Linkaroo getting another goal up. Yeah, if you can do that, then you are definitely in a place to just ride that momentum straight through, because you're not playing any differently. You're not having to accommodate your opponent.
Right, and that was a poor clear by Hootie, centering it straight for Linkaroo. Honestly, Disconnected are doing exactly what they should not be doing. They're backing up and they're giving YouMyZero all the time they need. They really, really need to force and pressure YouMyZero to keep them from going, and attacking them all the time.
Yep, and they got really fortunate with that first goal. Things started looking pretty good, but now YouMyZero's kind of clicked everything on, and here's another. That's the kind of goal that shouldn't be.
Yeah. Okay. So I feel like they are listening to me, but not in the sense of you still need to be smart and not have all three jump the ball.
Yeah. Part of that aggressive style is not just having 3 cars forward. It's about covering the opponent's side of the pitch, keeping the ball in the zone, and just being able to respond to rebounds and clear attempts and things like that.
Yep, exactly.
And a few teams can do it really well. It's a very difficult strategy to play off, and you have to be really good to do a very super aggressive style of play.
Yeah, we've seen it from Disconnected early on, and now they've gone away from it, because having that one goal and then YouMyZero getting one.
There we go.
Hootie gets a very good high top shelf goal. You just don't see that same intensity and tempo that they had early.
Yeah, it's getting kind of dragged down a little bit, especially after that flurry of goals by YouMyZero. Hard to keep up with that. Hard to keep the kind of mentality going. You start to wonder if your strategy's working. You start to try to adjust on the fly and be like, okay, what do I need to change? And the fact is, maybe don't change anything. Just do it better.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now Disconnected in a very difficult position. Minute and a half left to play. 3 goals down. But starting to look a little bit better. Things are starting to feel a little more comfortable for Disconnected in terms of how they want to approach this game. But, you don't want to have that happen near the end of Game 2 when you're already down a game.
Especially since YouMyZero is also getting more comfortable and less rusty with their play as they're going on into these matches as well.
Yeah, and just as you say that, Detton picks up a fantastic goal here. You can see Linkaroo gets a little bit of dribbling to try to play it up. Hootie, though, clears it to the corner, but doesn't actually clear it against the wall, so it centers nicely for Detton to follow up and just punish.
Yeah, the clears are really killing Disconnected right now. Even if they're going to slow down their tempo, they got to make these easy clears.
Yeah, exactly, and they're going to have a very rough time in Game 3 if they can't turn this around a little bit. Like right there, I mean, that, did he get past any defenders? I don't know. They all made contact with the ball there. It took till Detton to actually finally, disrupt things, and there's another good shot, but not a good clear. Oh, they couldn't punish it, though. They could have.
Yeah, God, Linkaroo and Andrew with these redirects just really, really changing how Disconnected has to defend, because you can't go where the ball is. You now have to do some geometry and predict where that ball is going to bounce off of Linkaroo and Andrew.
Yeah, and we're down to the end of the game in 0-second time right now. Rule 1 comes to an abrupt end. So Game 2 decidedly goes to YouMyZero, 6-2. And we are one more game away. So, should be the round of, 16. My bad. For some reason, I thought they had the full bracket up, but I guess it's just they played it down a little bit. I don't know what they're doing. Anyway, let's do this thing.
They're playing with your mind. That's what they're doing.
I know, it's just the typical Gfinity bracket changed up a little bit. But anyway, Game 3 kicking off here. Once again, in orange, YouMyZero. In blue, team disconnected. YouMyZero with a 2-0 series lead right now. One game away from a spot in the round of 16.
Yeah, and with disconnected, I really, really want to see that tempo brought. They can bring the tempo and keep on YouMyZero. I think they have a chance of taking this game.
You know, they do, and they could get one game out of this series, but you're right. If the playstyle doesn't change and change abruptly, then YouMyZero is just going to have another field day with them. And there's a great setup. Yeah, that's... Unfortunately, I think any changes that Disconnected makes now might be a little too late. YouMyZero is starting to click exactly how they should be. What a setup by Linkuru. Gets it right off the wall there, off the roof of his car, plays it perfectly to Deaton, and there's your finish.
Yeah, the clears and contests are just not there.
Yep, and those are two critical components to actually trying to really beat any team, let alone a top-tier team like YouMyZero.
Yeah, if you're gonna be here with the big dogs, you have to focus like a big dog. You have to get these clears. You have to make the smart plays. You can't just rush around trying to hit the ball. You have to play it smart.
Yeah, exactly. And at this point, you know, YouMyZero playing as good as they ever did. And Duro, though, missing what looked like a really good center by Deaton. There's a follow-up. Linkuru gets there. And a lot of that, this is kind of typical YouMyZero. You know, they commit to one kind of offensive play. It doesn't quite work out, but there to pick up the rebound is Linkuru. Puts it away. There you go. You know, score still works out.
Yeah, it really does. And I'm really happy to see that there's no problems with Andrew and YouMyZero are just now they're clicking, and it's so good to see them back.
Yeah, it's good in these early rounds, finally, for YouMyZero to get the chance to shake off the rust, you know, get that team chemistry back, play like they're used to, and potentially be a top contender here. And, you know, maybe even make a serious threat toward the rest of this tournament. But they've got a lot of teams to deal with, and one of those teams, of course, is going to be Flipside Tactics. Oh, I mean, that ball was going in, but that was basically an own goal there by Hootie.
Yeah, so let's see exactly what happens. As Linkuru touches it off, they get out of it. It looked like he tried to do the backflip, but he wasn't in front of it, and so it just pushed it even more forward.
Yeah, exactly. Hootie, again, not getting a good clear on that, nearly sets up YouMyZero once again. So little defensive lapses like that, especially when you're playing against a team like YouMyZero that's starting to really click and deliver, they're going to be exploited, and they're going to be exploited badly. So
yeah, definitely. You can't have that problem. You have to get these solid clears, because I mean, even if it's not a hard clear, if it's at least in a position that keeps it out of a good shot for YouMyZero, then you did your job.
Yep. And I'm not really seeing it. There's a good play off the corner here. Anduro gets his own setup and a big finish. Yeah, YouMyZero just sort of running on a full speed right now. So
yeah, that alley-oop off the wall, always a classic. Oh, there we go. Now, nothing really happened with that. Andrew, good save. Thought Hootie and I think it was All-Star had a chance there, but just didn't get anything with it.
Yeah, if you know, the chances that are coming are so few and far between that it's really hard to get any gauge on if they're going to be able to do anything. That was another nice one, but fortunately YouMyZero was in a spot to disrupt that.
Yeah, and where was this aggression 3 minutes ago?
Well, that's a question I think that Disconnected is going to have to ask themselves as they're licking their wounds coming off of this this series against YouMyZero.
Yeah, the easiest way to keep it from the back of your net is to keep it on their net.
Yeah, pressure's a big part of it. I mean, time of possession, you know, it's not a measurable metric right now, but it's something you can always tell when one team just has that ball control, is keeping it on your side of the pitch and not letting you do anything with it. Oh man. Okay, they got really lucky. Linker just racked up like 100 shots right there.
Yeah, Linker really tried to force that in there, and look, no clear.
Yep. Well, I mean, if Disconnected can take anything away from this, it's just, you know, focus on the defense, I'd say. A little bit of a pool shot, actually.
I'd say cueing the Benny Hill music as all three of them whiff around that ball. It's like it had a force field.
Yeah, I think defense is going to be their big takeaway here. You know, the few little good saves they're getting here and there are okay, but they're not getting solid clears, and that's going to be their big takeaway. You know, just get these clears, send that ball into the corner, send it downfield, do whatever you got to do. Just don't center it, and don't just tap it.
Oh
man.
Now, I can't say anything about this because I just know how hard it is to save a shot right here like this.
Yeah, those really hard angle shots are just, they're almost impossible to stop because it's so hard to get a read on them.
Yeah, the only thing he might have been able to do is to fly up and hit that. But with how fast it was, think of the reaction time he would have needed just to jump, angle his car, and then try and boost straight up for that.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way that you can really jump to make a stop like that. It was just going too high, too hard, too fast, and by the time you would think, oh, I got to jump up and get that, it's already coming down. So it's really hard to gauge. But, yeah, final few seconds here. YouMyZero, again, comfortably taking Game 3 in very convincing fashion, further establishing that they are a premier European squad. Disconnected has a few lessons they can take away from this, but YouMyZero is going to walk away with this series 3-0, and they are moving on to the round of 16, not the round of 32. So.